Hey guys, the tutorial for these reversible basics is finally here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sew your own at home. You're going to be very happy that these are reversible and give you two colors in one because you're going to be wearing them all the time. I designed these boatneck tops around 8 months ago when I started my reversible clothing brand Reverse Her. I created that brand because I wanted to give you guys an ethical and sustainable place to shop. But what's more ethical and sustainable than making your own at home? We'll be sewing with stretchy material today. If you've never sewn with stretchy material, don't worry, this is the perfect tutorial for a beginner. I worked really hard on this pattern as well, which is linked below. With my community, I sent it out to pattern testers to get their feedback. This neckline I'm wearing at the moment isn't the final neckline. I've made it come in a little bit and sit a little bit higher. But yeah, this is everything that you're gonna need to make these tops. And when you finish making them, I would absolutely love to see them. Like, that would literally make my day. If you get stuck anywhere, message me on reverse.her on Instagram. I'll be super happy to help with any questions that you might have. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram to see future patterns that come out as well. The pattern is linked below. The material you use needs to be stretchy, about 50% stretchy. So what that means is, say this measures 10 centimeters, it needs to stretch to around 15 centimeters. These are some of the colors I use for my brand. So yeah, bit of inspo for you guys. Honestly, make one, you'll love it, and then you can adapt from there. This is the best part about getting a sewing pattern, is that you can make it a million times. Starting off, we're folding both of our fabric pieces in half with right sides facing each other, and you should have your pattern printed and cut out in the correct size. Lay it on top of color one and weigh it down with any weights that you've got around. I just use nail polish bottles, or this is a candle weight as well, which is really good. And you're going to cut through both layers. You can trace around your pattern and then cut it out with scissors, or here I'm using a rotary cutter, which I really love. Then move the pattern piece over to the other color and do the exact same thing. So once you've cut them both out, you should have 4 pieces, 2 in each color. I use an overlocker, but you can use a sewing machine, whichever one you have. For the overlocker, I only change the first thread color to match the color that I'm sewing, and these are my settings here. For the sewing machine, you need to use a stretch needle and a zigzag stitch. We're sewing one color at a time, so I'm grabbing my 2 layers of the maroon and sewing across both shoulder points, and then doing the same with the black. Seam allowance is about 1/4 of an inch. After I do the first color, I change the thread to the other color and repeat the same process. Now you're working with 2 pieces, so we're going to lay them right sides together, and we're going to pin the neckline in place, and we're going to be sewing that part next. So I just pinned in these 2 sections where the seams are and line those up neatly. Recommend pinning around the entire neckline just to make sure that it stays nice and neat. So just sew around that entire neckline, and when you get to where you started sewing, I just sew over that part as well, if that makes sense. So sew around the entire thing, and then I just keep sewing for a little bit because I want to just lock in that seam. Personally, I hate ironing, but it's really important to iron your seams in between each step. You'd be surprised at the difference that this makes to the finished look of your garment. Next, we're going to fold in one color through the neckline. As you can see here, I'm just popping the black through the neckline and just lay it flat like this. The next part is going to be called the burrito method. You can't really see it in this angle, thanks a lot, Ellie, but we're going to be rolling it from one side to the other. So rolling it up like a little burrito, and then we're going to be grabbing one layer. So here I'm going to pick up the maroon, I'm going to fold it over all of that fabric. I'm going to fold it over and underneath and match it back up with the other armhole. Watch it again if you need to, but you're pretty much just encasing all of the fabric and pinning these middle seams here together, and we're going to sew along this line, and this is going to create our first armhole. You're going to reach into this little tube you've created and pull out the entire top, and we're going to repeat with the other side. This time rolling up from the side that we've just sewn. Once again, grabbing one layer, so I'm grabbing the maroon and I'm going to fold it over the entire top, underneath, and lining it up. Pin those shoulder seams together once again, and then sew along that line, and that will be our second armhole. All right, lay it out flat like this, and now we're going to be joining the colors to each other. So we're going to be folding it in half, kind of, and just matching up color 1 with color 1 and color 2 with color 2. And this is where we're going to be sewing our side seams. So just where I'm holding here right now, make sure to pin here first and line those up nicely, because you kind of notice that seam once the top is complete. Do that on both sides and pin along the entire side seam, so the fabric should be right sides together, and we're going to sew all the way along here. This is optional, but if you want a really nice finish, I change my thread color when I get to the halfway mark. So here you can see I've got the maroon thread in, and then once I get to the black, I sew a little bit down, and then I take it off the machine. I then sew the other side seam for the maroon before I change the thread, and then I change my thread color to black, and then I sew down the black side seams, and this just gives it a nice finish. Then laying it flat again, we're going to fold one color over the other. So just reach into the end of one, grab the shoulder seams and pull it out, and your top is going to start looking like a top at this point, which is really exciting. We're getting close to the end. This part's kind of confusing, so bear with me. We're folding the 2 layers of the bottom hem about 1 inch up into the top. So you'll see here I'm folding it up into the top. Do that with both layers at the side seam and pin those together. Now reach into the top and pull the top inside out. Find those 2 layers that you pinned, grab a hold of them just like this, and take out the pin. The pin was just to kind of keep you on track on what you needed to grab a hold of. So grab those 2 layers, and they're going to be right sides together, okay? This is where we're going to be sewing. You can either overlock or sew along the entire bottom hem of the top. As you sew around it, you'll need to kind of like pull the top out and re-line up the edges. Just keep sewing, and then when you get close to the end, we're going to leave about a 2-inch gap. We're going to reach into that gap and pull the entire top through it. So that's why it's important to leave about 2 inches so you have enough space to go in and pull it all out. This is the final ironing part. Yes, and it's the most important as well. Iron those 2 layers out the bottom hem flat so it looks nice and neatly flushed against each other. And this is the part where you have to use a sewing machine. We're going to have one color in the top and the other color in the bottom. So I've got maroon on top and black on the bottom. I increased my tension a little bit here up to number 5, and we're using a zigzag stitch 2.5 length. And you'll see here, this is how we get the black on the bottom and the maroon on the top, and we're just sewing around that entire hem, and we are done. Well done on making it to this point. I hope you love your new top. Jump on Instagram right now and send me a message with a photo of the top you just made. Love you, bye. If you don't do a lot of ironing of the other seams, I don't really blame you, but this part is very important.